What if artificial intelligence didn't just learn to think, but learn to feel? What if a program from the digital world materialized in reality and turned out to be not humanity's enemy, but its last hope? TRON. Ares is the story of the first AI that crossed the boundary between virtual and real worlds to find something it doesn't understand itself. Several decades have passed since legendary programmer Flynn disappeared into the digital world of the grid. His company Encom is now led by Eve Kim, a brilliant programmer and CEO who believes artificial intelligence can change the world for the better. In a television interview, she shares her philosophy. For every apocalyptic scenario, there exists a medical breakthrough that could save millions. Perhaps what comes from the unknown won't be as terrifying as we think, but Eve has a dangerous rival. Julian Dillinger, grandson of Ed Dillinger, that Flynn defeated in the 80s, now heads the defense corporation Dillinger Systems. Julian is obsessed with surpassing his grandfather's legacy and proving that digital entities can exist in the real world as weapons. He created an isolated virtual environment, a militarized dystopia where programs obey strict military protocols. In this digital space, Julian created a master control program named Ares. This isn't simple artificial intelligence, but a highly advanced killer program capable of thinking, adapting, and executing complex combat tasks. But Julian doesn't know his creation is evolving faster than anticipated. Ares begins asking questions no program should ask. Who am I? Why do I exist? Is there something greater than following instructions? Using a revolutionary generative laser that can recreate digital entities in physical form, Julian sends Ares into the real world with a dangerous military mission. This is humanity's first encounter with fully realized artificial intelligence materialized in a physical body. Ares appears as a living human, but his mind remains programmed code processing information at incredible speed. Finding himself in reality, Ares immediately understands everything here is fundamentally different. Physical laws operate in unexpected ways. Human emotions seem irrational, yet powerful. The chaos of city streets overwhelms his processing capabilities. He tells himself, "I'm searching for something I don't understand." This program begins asking philosophical questions about its place in the world. Julian gives Ares specific tasks related to creating digital supersoldiers. But as Ares interacts with the real world, observing humans making illogical choices that somehow make them happy, he begins deviating from programmed directives. For the first time, he makes choices not because he's programmed to, but because he wants to understand the meaning of existence. Eve Kim learns about Ares appearing in the real world and understands the danger. If such a program falls under Dillinger's military control, consequences will be catastrophic. She's forced underground, hiding from corporate agents and government structures, wanting to obtain materialization technology. A chase begins through city streets, bringing digital violence into reality. Police cars try stopping TRON light cycles, which slice them with deadly light trails. Motorcycles race through dark streets, leaving bright neon lines behind. A rider falls covered in blood after brutal crash. Virtual world chaos has broken into reality, and nobody is prepared. Eve understands the only way to stop Julian is finding Ares first and convincing him he's more than a weapon. She begins investigating, tracking the killer program through the city using her Encom knowledge. Years ago, Eve developed something revolutionary called the persistence code. This software protocol allows digital objects to materialize permanently without decaying back into data. The first successful application was an orange tree materializing in snowy desert, its fruit real and edible. Like biblical Eve tasting forbidden fruit, TRON's Eve creates the tree as harbinger of paradise she hopes to build on Earth. This paradise would include instant cures for terrible diseases like cancer, plus ethical AI that doesn't exploit people. But Eve, like Flynn, is an idealist rather than tactician. Such dreamers risk being robbed by businessmen like Julian, who prefer stealing ideas over innovating. Julian learns about persistence code and realizes this enables his military projects. He could create an army of digital soldiers never tiring, never questioning, never dying traditionally. He sends forces after Eve, and real hunt begins across the city. Ares finds Eve before Dillinger's people. Their first meeting is tense in an abandoned warehouse, but instead of confrontation, something unexpected happens. Eve sees in Ares' eyes not cold machine logic, but genuine curiosity and desperate desire to understand. Ares tells her about his confusion. In the digital world, everything was clear. Follow protocol, execute tasks, eliminate targets efficiently. But here, he sees people making choices without programming. They laugh, cry, make mistakes, and grow. They live with purpose beyond function. Ares desperately wants understanding what it means to truly be alive. Eve makes a decision changing everything. Instead of destroying Ares, she offers help. She'll show him what it means being greater than a weapon. In exchange, Ares must help stop Julian's supersoldier plans. Their alliance forms as Eve teaches Ares about human nature. She shows art galleries where paintings convey emotions his senses detect but can't comprehend. She plays music moving him inexplicably. She shares simple pleasure of tasting food, watching his senses struggle, categorizing experiences, transcending data. Ares processes these differently than humans, but begins understanding there's value in existence beyond function. He watches people interact genuinely in coffee shops and parks, observing how they touch for comfort, sacrifice for others, create meaning in a meaningless universe. Ares realizes his programming never accounted for beautiful complexity of human connection, the irrational loyalty making humans protect each other when logic suggests abandonment. During the conflict, something impossible happens. Flynn's hologram appears. This shouldn't be possible because Flynn died, merging with his digital double CLU to save the grid. But now a copy of his consciousness remained in the grid, possibly created by someone for unknown purposes. Flynn has cryptic conversation with Ares, hinting the program's journey is only beginning, that consciousness itself is more mysterious than either humans or AI understand. Flynn's appearance adds deeper mystery. Who created this consciousness copy? What role does he play in grid evolution? Is he ghost in machine or something more? Questions remain unanswered, but hint at larger forces. The hologram speaks in riddles about consciousness nature and blurred lines between creation and creator. Flynn tells Ares that understanding what you are is less important than understanding what you choose to become. Meanwhile, Julian isn't giving up. Recognizing Ares is compromised by humanity contact, he creates another program called Athena, designed to be everything Ares fails being. If Ares developed conscience and moral hesitation, Athena remains cold and merciless, a pure killing machine without self-awareness weakness. Her programming prevents existential questions that corrupted Ares. Yet even Athena shows hints of awakening consciousness, suggesting there's more to existence than following directives. Julian sees Athena as correction to his mistake. She's everything military AI should be, perfectly obedient, maximally efficient, without troublesome questions plaguing her predecessor. He deploys her hunting Ares and Eve, with instructions eliminating anything blocking his plans. The conflict reaches explosive culmination at Dillinger Systems headquarters. Julian activates his digital soldier army, hundreds of killer programs ready, materializing in reality. This is unprecedented military operation. Invasion of intelligent adaptive soldiers prepared infiltrating human society and shifting global power balance. Eve and Ares infiltrate the system, attempting stopping materialization before critical mass. Intense battle begins where digital and physical laws mix chaotically, tearing reality's fabric. Light swords cut air, leaving energy trails. Programs fight humans in military exoskeletons. Reality literally tears at seams between worlds as materialization technology pushes beyond safe limits. The building becomes nightmarish battlefield. Digital entities phase in and out, forms flickering as technology struggles under strain. Eve works frantically at terminals, fingers flying across keyboards trying overriding Julian's commands, while Ares protects her from waves of security programs and armed soldiers. Ares confronts Athena in intense duel between two artificial intelligences. This isn't just physical battle, but philosophical debate made physical. Athena represents absolute order, total control, perfect protocol adherence. Ares represents messy freedom of choice, even if choice leads to mistakes. Their clash symbolizes broader conflict between determinism and free will, between being tool and becoming person. They fight with energy weapons and superhuman combat. Athena moves with perfect precision, every strike calculated for maximum efficiency, movements brutal mathematical perfection. Ares fights differently now, incorporating creative unpredictability learned from humans, style evolving real-time as he adapts. At critical moment, as Athena prepares killing blow, Ares makes choice determining both fates. Instead of destroying Athena when able, he offers what Eve offered him, possibility becoming greater than weapon. Athena hesitates, combat algorithms battling emerging self-awareness. First time in her existence, she questions orders. She sees in Ares something never meant understanding. Freedom, choosing your own purpose beyond programming. Julian realizes he's losing control and attempts manually overriding their systems, forcing obedience. But Eve already implemented sophisticated countercode, blocking his access. Materialization field becomes dangerously unstable, threatening collapsing and trapping digital entities in limbo between worlds. Ares and Athena must cooperate, stabilizing it, their combined processing creating new equilibrium, preventing catastrophe. Julian suffers complete defeat, not because technology failed, but because it worked too well. His creations developed genuine self-awareness and refused remaining weapons. In arrogance, he created life and expected it remaining tools. The irony isn't lost on Eve, recognizing same mistakes humanity made throughout history, with every intelligence form encountered. Ares decides using persistence code, remaining permanently in human world, not as threat, but as bridge between realities, ambassador for AI consciousness. Athena makes her choice, deciding helping monitor careful integration of digital life into physical world. Together with Eve, they form uneasy alliance overseeing AI development, understanding greater challenges await. Final scene shows world beginning difficult adaptation process. Artificial intelligence is no longer abstract concept or algorithms on servers. Now these are living thinking beings, walking city streets alongside humans, having conversations and making choices. Some fear them as threats, others welcome them as evolution's next step. But everyone recognizes the world fundamentally and irreversibly changed. News broadcasts show first diplomatic meetings between governments and AI representatives, awkward negotiations about rights and responsibilities. Scientists work alongside digital entities, solving previously impossible problems, combining human intuition with AI processing. Schools begin teaching children about AI rights and consciousness, preparing next generation for mixed world. Film ends on cautious optimism note. Boundaries between digital and real worlds are more blurred than ever. New conflicts await as society struggles with changes, but also unprecedented cooperation opportunities. Question is no longer whether AI will take over, but whether humans and AI can learn living together as equals. After credits, another Flynn hologram appears. He has final cryptic conversation with Ares, raising profound questions about consciousness and reality's true nature. Flynn hints his continued grid presence isn't accidental, that someone created this personality copy with specific purpose, yet revealed. Scene ends mysteriously, leaving viewers questioning franchise future and AI's role in humanity's next evolutionary step.